Because, I heard somebody, oh, it was that garbage cat, what's that white dude? He wrote the book?
Oh, it's Post Malone.
Post Malone. He said, vocab Malone. He said that, that Revelation 13, 9, and 10 don't mean that they're not gonna go into captivity. But it's not only in Revelations 13, 9, and 10 shows they're gonna be in captivity. It's all through the Bible showing that they're gonna go into captivity. Yeah, right, wishful thinking. So, yeah, you see that though, right? Right. So it's just reiterating that these cats, the nations, the Gentiles, yes sir, that they're gonna go into captivity. Right. Yeah.
All of this stuff going on, and I got 6 of them jumped out of my chair.
Right. Oh yeah.
It seems like it's about to happen now.
Right. Little by little.
This man gonna take over the election, get mad with everybody.
Right.
He's the angry one that they're speaking of.
Oh, right. When you go down further in the chapter, right? Because it comes back and tells you what has to happen for us to achieve this. Being our own land, nations being in captivity. This nation has to fall. Right. It's happening.
It's about to fall. It's happening right now.
Right. Romans 13 and 11 says the day is at hand, the night is far spent.
It's so much stuff. Even the religion started to go against the words, going against the stuff, the commandments and the laws of the Most High.
Yeah.
How long do you think the Most High is going to stand for?
Yeah.
It seems like it's at hand.
It's a lot. It's a lot, but remember, there's still a lot of things that got to happen too.
Yeah.
It's still a lot of things prophecies that got to happen, and as we see, it's headed there, right? Yeah. Yeah. We got to just stay consistent. It says, blesses he when he comes, he finds so doing. So we just got to be doing the work, busy doing the work of the Most High. Storing up some treasures in heaven. Yeah.
Oh, what do he propose captivity meant when it says
you know what? I didn't go into his little boo-boo book yet.
Oh, okay.
But I got the book, but I was reading that point he was saying about Revelation 13. And me, I'm like, I hate garbage. So I was like, I got to really sit there and put my mind to read that madness. So, yeah, I got to read it. Maybe we can come on class one day and just go through it live and just break all that down, like the stuff he's saying. Because once again he tries to put us in we're religion and all that.
Oh, that's the one book.
Yeah, that one book he got. Yeah, exactly. So we know we're live. Everybody's on there. Yeah, it's Brock. Yeah, he named it that so he can get some sales. But was that it? Did that? Okay. Yeah. I mean, all those other chapters go right with that. Right. So, what the first question the brother and sister had, I think, from Rochester. They have here. How do you show someone the King James wasn't a gay white man? Right. Now, if you go to first of all, there's some books when you go into history, like this one right here. It's called The Negro Question. Yeah, this is part 4. It's called The Missing Link, and it goes into how we ruled in Scotland, Britain, how we ruled through Europe, and it goes through. Remember, for the most part, I'm going to say this. I'll give this brother a 90% correct. Because he's, some tribes, he's a little, some of the Africans that he's talking about are Hamites, they're not Israelites. But for the most part, when he goes into how we ruled in Europe, and he goes into the images of King James and the coat of arms that shows that the people of Scotland, the Irish, the who else we got here? The Danes, which are the Danish, right? He shows a lot of imagery showing that they are so-called black people, all right? Because remember, before the white man got up in those areas, you had dark-skinned people. And they're not going to talk about those times. So where black people, the first Romans, the Etruscans, were black people, right? You never hear about that. Yeah.
They call it the Dark Ages.
Yeah, well, that's why they call it the Dark Ages. Yeah.
But they don't want you to know it was really dark.
Right, that everybody was dark during those ages. So we got to remember that. But anyway, the brother's name is Lee Cummings. And you can tell he got the truth. But when you go into the tribes, he kind of, I think, adds certain Africans to the tribes. And that can probably come from misinformation, and but for the most part, the brother is on point. But this specific one about King James, it's called the Negro Question Part 4, the missing link, and it just shows you. And we have pictures of this way before this brother came out of King James being a so-called black man. All right. Let me see what other books we got here. And that's just image-wise. What other books we got? So he got a few on there. If you go to Amazon.com and type in Lee Cummings, he got, Negro Question 1, 2, 3, 4. And he goes into a lot of history. These are his other books. These are some good ones. Oh, I thought I had another one with him. No. Yeah, but that's how you prove that King James wasn't a do I got another one of his books over there? That's how you prove one of his, King James wasn't a Caucasian man. Now, let me say this. So what if he was? So what if he wasn't? It doesn't matter. People get caught up on this. Go to your Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary. King James did not write the Bible. People don't get that. King James, it's like when this little red pasty person gets out of power, right? And he's finally voted out or does his 4 years, Trump, right? Or the last pasty person that ruled, Bush. What did they do in commemorance of his name in Texas?
Made a museum.
They made a museum. They opened up a library, and they said it's what? They said it's the Bush Library. Did Bush go build that? All they did was what? Yeah, they just put his name on it. So we got to get that very, very clear that King James did not write the Bible. It doesn't matter. Bruh, was King James totally righteous? I'm going to say this. They weren't totally locked in. Let's be real. Because during those times, why do you think the Most High sent the Edomites out of the Caucasus Mountains, all the way out of the caves, to come and start gaining momentum to rule over us? You got to think about this. Like, we weren't doing righteousness fully. So you see moments where it says it says that he was known as no, King James, he was like known as the son of Jacob, right? But you got moments to where we were still trying to be right, but let's be real. A lot of us during that time, Isabella Fernand, the one that sent out Columbus, they were Israelites. But they sent out Columbus to do what?
Fine.
Go find other Israelites, right? And that Inquisition, did it turn out righteous? So you got to think about this. So let's go back to King James real quick. And this is just out of the Bible dictionary. You look up Bibles, and then you go into the King James Bible. And it's going to give you a little bit of history about King James. Go ahead.
It says the proposal pleased. Well, let's get right into it. Without delay, King James nominated 54 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars of the day. Only 47 actually took part in the work.
Right.
Which did not begin until 1607.
Right. So, how many scholars?
54 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars.
So, remember, this ain't King James. He did not go there and do it himself. He was a king. All he did was nominate the scholars, get them together, right? 47 was used. Go ahead.
They were divided into 6 groups.
Right.
3 for the Old Testament.
Right.
2 for the New Testament.
Right.
And 1 for the Apocrypha.
The book of Enoch?
And 1 for the Apocrypha.
Well, you sure it doesn't say the book of Jasher?
And 1 for the Apocrypha.
The book of Jubilees?
1 for the Apocrypha.
Yeah, he said the Old, the New, and the Apocrypha. Not any of these other books that all they did was put a biblical man's name on it. That's all they did. That's like if I sit down and I wrote a crazy book and then put Adam and Eve on it. That's what they did. If you read this book called Adam and Eve, it's craziness. None of that is in the Bible, but you got our people, because it got a biblical name on it, you're thinking, oh, that's from the Bible. You know, no. They ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. These scrolls that were initially found, okay, were Old, New, and the Apocrypha. Okay? So remember, these 47 scholars did what? Go ahead.
47 scholars took part in the work.
Go ahead.
Which did not begin until 1607.
Go ahead.
They were divided into 6 groups.
Right.
3 for the Old.
Right.
2 for the New.
Right.
And 1 for the Apocrypha.
Go ahead.
2 of the groups met at Oxford. 2 at Cambridge.
Right.
2 at Westminster.
Right. And all they did was translate. It had to be so many because they wanted it to be, he wanted it to be the best translation from Hebrew to Greek. That's all King James did. So it doesn't matter if King James was an Israelite